to remind you guys at the start of the show, first and foremost, welcome along. It's great to see so many of you in. Had a record week on new sign-ups on YouTube, Facebook, all the social media stuff. So if you're new to our show, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. You've got an hour and a half of full-on market analysis coming over the next hour and a half. Lots of experts talking about lots of topics. Make sure you get in and enjoy it. And if you haven't been able to see this live and you want to watch the recordings of it, I encourage you to try and get through the recordings before market open tomorrow morning. Now, the week ahead of news, we start off with Australians joining New Zealanders on daylight savings. It's always nice when the Australians catch up with us. We always like that stuff. We really do. And the Chinese are still on holiday for a couple more days. I think that's the National Day observance. ISM non-manufacturing PMN comes in Monday, but really we're a little bit quiet for news Monday. We're starting to see a little bit more coming through, and these are Singapore times. The Aussie cash rate comes out Tuesday morning. Not expecting any changes in the rates there, I wouldn't have thought, but we'll watch that statement closely for hints from the Reserve Bank of stuff to come along. And the annual budget release comes out from Australia as well, and that will be watched carefully. ECB President Lagarde speaks. President Lagarde has been busy in the last week. We'll be interested to see what she has to say. Speaks again later in the day. Fed Chairman Powell again on Tuesday night, Singapore time. That'll be Wednesday morning, New Zealand. China's still on holiday on Wednesday. Lagarde speaks again. FOMC meeting minutes comes out Thursday morning, Sing. And we've got Bank of England Governor Bailey speaks, and Bank of Canada Governor Macklem speaks. And the Canadian employment change. So a reasonably busy week on the news, but I think that for me, the news that's not on Forex Factory will remain watched very closely by the market is the overall health of President Donald Trump. I expect, like everybody really, that Trump will have good days and bad days, but I expect to hear news during the week that everything is well. And news contrary to that may cause a little bit of a stir along in the markets. Going to have a quick run through a few charts before we get over to Chloe to do her four currency pairs. And it'll be Chloe's last show with us for a little while. She is off for the birth of her baby son, I think, from memory. Bitcoin, look, Bitcoin here, starting to put in some, it's a bit of a triangle pattern. We've got the bigger triangle here. We've now got another lower high here. It looks very indecisive to me. We'll be looking for some interaction off this trend line during the week. Nasdaq again, has gone from putting in lower high, lower low, double bottom, higher low, and really some form of bounce around this level would be interesting technically for me at this point. US 500, not quite as clear for mine. We've got lower low, lower high, lower low. Still got a lower high here, and still looks more bearish to me. And for the Nasdaq and the US 500 to be, the S&P to be out of sync is a bit unusual. And I think that we'll see these pictures cleared up in the week as far as direction goes. Dollar yen. We've talked a little bit about this level on dollar yen throughout the last couple of weeks on the market analysis, and really we're still hanging around here. We've seen with a lot of these products, we've seen the bottom of some form of range, a move down, some form of retest to this area, and we really need to clear out of this area to be clear on direction. We've been talking about XTI all week. We did say that it would hit the top of this range and come down to the bottom of the range. I think if you were listening to the market analysis Monday, Tuesday, you'll have heard that stuff pretty clearly. We've said it all week. So if you've been listening to us during the week, you should have got some money off at the bottom in here, and the rest of it should be coming off Friday night or coming off on Monday morning. Euro, well, again, Euro, a lot of these are doing this. Here's our range. There's the break. There's the retest. And we are sitting back inside the bottom of the range at the moment. Look, as long as we're inside the bottom of that range, I'll be looking for a bit of a move back into the range. Really what I'm looking for is a close below and a suggestion we're going to put in a lower low and see some direction come into this. Alternatively, this could be a false break here, and we could well be heading up the other way. That'll do me on these. We're really here to hear from other people on the experts in the show at the moment. I'm just going to check on who's around. Perhaps before we get into too much, a quick hi, Chloe. How are you doing?
I'm really well, thank you, Paul. How are you?
I am really well, Chloe. It's so nice to hear you say that. What are we, 2.5 weeks from due date?
We are exactly 3 weeks from due date.
Fantastic. I think it'd be nice if you gave birth during the original show, the market analysis. We're going to come to you in a little while and have a look through some charts. But first, I'm just going to ask Julian, are you with us? I know Julian's in the room, but he's either muted and talking to us, or he's just away from the screen.
I am indeed talking to you, and I am indeed muted as well too.
It's a normal thing. We are used to that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, which I haven't done. May, have you started sharing this to other? May, have you shared this out to? May, have you shared this out to social media?
Yes, I have.
So, okay, so we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. It's wonderful to have May in the room. May's helping us to run the show. She'll be doing the comments and social media, letting us know if you guys need anything. So one of the things I'd like to ask, if you'd like any analysis done on any particular currency pairs or products, type it into the social media. You can do it in the room on Zoom. If you're not in the room, you can do it on Facebook or YouTube, and we will get the team to have a look through it a little bit later on. Julian, I'm aware that it is 20 past 10 at night in New Zealand already. So even before we go to Chloe, I would like to give you an opportunity to jump in and to say a few things and share anything you want to share before you get some sleep in the new house in New Zealand.
Thanks, Paul, and I won't take up everybody's time for very long. Look, guys, I think for me this week is probably going to be a week of dominated by news, I guess we could argue. There's some president somewhere who's got COVID, I think. I can't remember who it is, though. So I suspect that he will lead the news as we go through the week. But for me, the real key thing here is nothing's going to change unless it's very, very serious. At which point in time, if that is the case, then I think asset markets will struggle. They'll probably be a lot weaker, and I would expect the dollar to rally and possibly gold to go up, although I'm not even sure about that one. So normally in these situations, golds tend to be correlated as downside as well. So I think with that in mind, my thesis for the week is that I think the US dollar is going to see some strength. But from a trading perspective, that only works when we start to see significant levels broken during the week. So possibly I'm going to be eagle-eyeing the weekly lows of last week in possibly the Aussie and the Kiwi, and looking at dollar yen as well too for some follow through if the dollar continues to strengthen. And that's pretty much my view for the week, to be honest with you. But it has to actually happen. So bear in mind, I'm not really a US dollar bull. I'm a US dollar bull if it starts to happen. Because I think it's quite a bit more room to move this week. I think last week appeared to be a consolidation week, and as a result of that, we saw a lot of the currencies rally back. So that's my thesis for this week. We'll see what happens.
Sorry, Julian, I have been just trying to get Geoff a link. He's having some problems getting in. Your thesis is dollar strength on evidence. Is that right? We're looking for some confirmation of it. Then we're looking for some dollar strength, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think, trying to trade stuff is, it's all very well to say, okay, great, I got it right, the dollar's going to strengthen, but that doesn't really count for anything unless you've got the trades on. And therefore, trade location is incredibly important. I don't think this is one of those times when you can go, oh, yeah, I'll just go sell Aussie on Monday morning because, right? So I think you've got to be quite careful about where and when and trade location. So, for sure, the break of last week's lows, I think, is probably quite a key level. But maybe there's opportunities a little bit higher up if other things take place, which I can't really define because I haven't really seen it yet because we don't know what's coming next week. So, yeah, look, I appreciate that, Robert, as well too. I just seeing those comments coming through. You're right, and yes, there are some entry points turning up. So I think that for me, there's two ways to play this. You either play that with a tight stop, but it really depends where the market's going to open tomorrow, and that's what I'm not sure about. This news could be taken poorly. It might be ignored. I'm genuinely not sure about how people are going to treat it. And then there's the issue about how much of it do we actually know, and is it fake news? All of that palaver, right? So this is about trading the price action for me. And so if I see confirmation, I'll be moving.
I think it's such a good point, Julian, too, that, this is, we talked when I was running through some currencies, I talked about the fact there's a lot of stuff around the bottom of previous ranges. And really what we needed to do is to either jump back into that range and confirm it, or get below that range and confirm that. But right now, there's a lot of it right on the bottom of the range, and we just need price action to give us a direction, right? To give us some clarity.
Yeah, exactly, Paul. And I think that's the approach I'm taking this week.
Nice, mate. Anything else from you?
No, that's pretty much it. Look, I think, everything's going to move. This is a correlation of 1 week. I think if the news is a bit rough, then everything will move quite aggressively together. And if the news isn't rough, I need confirmation before I'm going to act. So that's pretty much how I'm going to play it.
Cheers, mate. That sounds good.